The shocking truth about child brides in ancient Rome. We think that the world today is crazy. Look at some of the things that are happening around you. But if you really want to know what crazy looks like, you need to travel back in time to ancient Rome. In this episode, take you back 2,000 years to ancient Rome, where a shocking truth about child brides will be revealed. Viewer discretion is advised for this one, as some of these practices are quite disturbing. So if you're easily offended, then look away now. But if you can handle the truth, then let's travel back to ancient Rome together. Emperor Nero was notorious for many things, including his debauchery and alleged assassination of his mother. He took the throne at the age of 17 after the death of his father, Emperor Claudius. This made him the most powerful man in the empire, and with great power comes great responsibility. Unfortunately, he didn't have anyone guiding him on how to behave as an emperor. If he did, maybe the horrible events that followed would have been avoided. It was during his reign that a shocking truth about child brides in ancient Rome was revealed. When he was only 13 years old, he married a 12-year-old girl named Poppaea Sabina. She was the daughter of a former Roman emperor. You heard that right. A 13-year-old boy married a 12-year-old girl. That's not all. There were other girls who were also lined up to marry him when he came of age. It was a disgusting display of power and control. Ancient Rome was built on the idea of patriarchy, where men were considered superior to women and had the right to dominate them. This belief system allowed men to exploit and abuse women without any consequences. This is why it's not surprising that most Roman women were married off at a very young age. In the case of Poppaea Sabina, she was only 12 years old when she married Nero. This is younger than the current minimum age of marriage, which is 14 years old. At the time, it was normal for girls to be married off at such a young age. However, this does not make it right. Child marriage is a violation of human rights, and it can have serious consequences for the child bride. The story of Poppaea Sabina is a prime example of how the shocking truth about child brides in ancient Rome was revealed to the world. Her tragic fate is a reminder of the importance of fighting for women's rights and protecting children from abuse. What was life like for child brides in ancient Rome? The life of a child bride in ancient Rome was far from ideal. They were often forced to marry strangers much older than them, and were expected to bear children immediately. They were unable to do so. They were often abused by their husbands. The bride's family would typically receive a dowry, which was a sum of money or property brought to the marriage by the bride's family. The amount of the dowry would determine the bride's status in her new family. The larger the dowry, the higher the bride's social standing. Sadly, many child brides were killed in childbirth due to the lack of medical care. If a bride survived childbirth, she would have to continue to have children until she was too old to bear more. She would also be expected to do household chores such as cooking and cleaning. How old were the men who married these child brides? It is not uncommon for men to marry young girls in ancient Rome. Men of all ages would take advantage of the young girls who had no say in the matter. Some men were as old as 50 when they married 12-year-old girls. It was not uncommon for Roman men to have harems of women and girls. They would have several wives and concubines who would live in the household together. Do you think Nero was right to marry a child bride? It is never right to marry a child bride. Child marriage is a form of child abuse, and it is illegal in most countries. It is never right to take advantage of someone who is not old enough to consent to sexual activity. Now it's your turn. What do you think of the shocking truth about child brides in ancient Rome? Let us know in the comments below. We hope that you learned something new and that you will share this video with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.